Court is in session in two cases. First case is cause number 331-188. Second case is cause number 331-364. Both cases are style, the state of Texas versus Miles Thomas or Miles Edward Thomas. Mr. Thomas, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thomas, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Thomas, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thomas, you may put your hand out. How are you doing, Mr. Thomas?
Doing fine.
That's good. Now, Mr. Thomas, in cause number 331-364, I have before me an information. This information alleges that on or about November 22nd of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of assault family violence. Mr. Thomas, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Thomas, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thomas, I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation to Defendants Without an Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on the line that states, I want to waive my right to an attorney and represent myself?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering a Guilty Plea or Proceeding to Trial. Mr. Thomas, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thomas, I also have before me a document on this tablet that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Mr. Thomas, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Thomas, there are two sets of initials. The first set of initials, MT, is on a line next to a box that's checked guilty.
Yes, sir.
Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
The second set of initials, Mr. Thomas, is below a paragraph that is titled Discovery Admonishments, and it is on a line next to a statement that reads, I do not request discovery of the evidence. I waive my right to request discovery in this case and choose to enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Did you place your initials on this document,
Yes, sir.
on this line? On page 3 of this same document, Mr. Thomas, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Did you place your signature on this line?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
There are two, and there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Did you place your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
There are two boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box states that you are, that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thomas, prior to you signing and initialing all of these documents that I have just mentioned,
Yes, sir.
did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Thomas, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State's Exhibit number 1 is the document that you acknowledge, that you recognize is misdemeanor plea admonishment. On page 2 of State's Exhibit number 1, it have the two sets of initials that you acknowledge was your initials that you placed on this document. And on page 3, it has the signature on above the line that's titled Defendant, signature that you acknowledge was yours. The state would like to use this document as evidence against you in your case. Is it all right for the state to use this document as evidence in your case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Now, Mr. Thomas, is there any evidence that you are currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir.
You understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
You understand the consequences of your plea?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Thomas, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, Mr. Thomas, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
It's 100 days jail, probated over 1 year.
100 over 1 year, okay,
There's no fine,
no fine,
20 hours community service,
20 hours community service,
and for him to continue his Spindletop MHMR services.
Spindletop serve, okay.
And the state, in consideration for a plea in this case, is dismissing cause number 331188.
Okay. Mr. Thomas, the state is offering that you serve, this says 365 days. Oh, okay. She's making a correction. Okay. Hold on a minute. Mr. Thomas,
Yes, sir.
the state is offering that you serve 100 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you would not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail for this case because you will be placed on probation for 1 year.
Yes, sir.
During the 1 year probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine. However, you will be required to pay court costs of $342. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. Your total monthly installments is $110 a month. Mr. Thomas, will you be able to pay the $110 a month?
Yes, sir.
You will?
Yes.
You will also be required to perform 20 hours of community service. The state will be dismissing cause number 331188, and you must attend the services at Spindletop MHMR.
Yes, sir.
And you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Thomas, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thomas, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Porter, will you hand this to Mr. Thomas? Mr. Thomas, the bailiff is handing you a document that is titled Model Written Admonishment on Ineligibility to Possess Firearm or Ammunition. Now, I will go over this document with you.
Yes, sir.
In accordance with the Texas Administrative Code, Section 176.1, the court hereby admonishes you of the following. Number one, you are, by entry of order or judgment, ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Number two, beginning now, if you possess a firearm or ammunition, it could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about how long you will be ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, you should consult an attorney. Number three, under Texas Penal Code Section 46.013, A, firearms mean any device designed, made, or adapted to expel a projectile through a barrel by using the energy generated by an explosion or burning substance, or any device readily convertible to that use. B, firearm does not include a firearm that may have as an integral part a folding knife blade or other characteristics of weapons made illegal by Penal Code Chapter 46, and that is one, an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, or two, a replica of an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, but only if the replica does not use rimfire or centerfire ammunition. The statutes listed below are a starting point for ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. For more information about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or for more information on how long your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition lasts, the court recommends you contact an attorney. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.292, Magistrate's Orders for Emergency Protection. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 42.0131, Notice for persons convicted of misdemeanors involving family violence. Penal Code Section 46.02, Unlawful carrying weapons. Penal Code Section 46.04, Unlawful possession of firearms. Penal Code Section 25.07, violation of certain court orders or conditions of bond in a family violence, child abuse or neglect, sexual assault or abuse, indecent assault, stalking or trafficking case. Family Code Section 85.026, warning on protective orders. Now, Mr. Thomas, that document is for your records. You can keep that for your records.
Yes, sir.
This will conclude your case. Please stand on the X next to, stand on the X in front of our court clerk.
Yes, sir.
She's gonna give you some directions. Once you finish following those directions, you'll be free to go. And Mr. Thomas, you need to keep a copy of the probation order that she's going to give you
Yes, sir.
with you, because you still have a warrant out, but that warrant is going to go away, has to go through the system. And so if you get stopped, you can present that paper to let them know that you took care of that case. It has the case number, which will also be the same warrant number, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank
So
you.
once you leave here, you have a blessed day, Mr. Thomas, and good luck.
Thank you.
Are you welcome?
Alex, look at your right thumb.